The world was white, covered in a thick blanket of snow that stretched as far as the eye could see. Snow fell day and night, creating a serene yet harsh environment. The gentle snowflakes danced in the air, but their beauty masked the challenges they brought. The animals were cold and hungry, struggling to find food in the frozen landscape. Their usual sources of sustenance were buried under layers of ice and snow. They huddled together for warmth, seeking solace in each other's presence. The deer shivered uncontrollably, their breath visible in the frigid air. The rabbits burrowed deeper into the snow, trying to escape the biting cold. Even the bears, with their thick fur, struggled to stay warm. They lumbered through the snow, their movements slow and labored, searching for any sign of relief. The animals knew they needed help. They called a meeting, a gathering of all creatures, great and small. They came together, united by their shared plight. They needed a plan, a way to survive this endless winter. Ideas were exchanged and strategies were discussed. The animals knew that only through cooperation and ingenuity could they hope to endure the harsh season. "We need fire," said the wise owl, his voice echoing through the silent, snowy forest. The cold was unbearable and the animals were desperate for warmth. But who will go to the Great Spirit and ask for it? The wise owl's question hung in the air, heavy with the weight of their predicament. The animals looked at each other, their eyes filled with fear and uncertainty. No one dared to make the journey. It was too dangerous, and the path to the Great Spirit was fraught with peril. Suddenly, Rainbow Crow stepped forward, his feathers shimmering in the dim light. He was the most beautiful bird, with feathers of every color, a true marvel of nature. "I will go," he said, his voice strong and unwavering. The animals cheered, their spirits lifted by his bravery. They knew that if anyone could succeed, it was Rainbow Crow. Rainbow Crow was brave and kind, his heart filled with determination. They knew he was their only hope, the one who could bring back the fire and save them from the relentless cold. As he took flight, the animals watched with bated breath, praying for his safe return. Rainbow Crow flew for days. The wind blew fiercely, the snow blinded him, but he kept going. He climbed higher and higher. He flew until he reached the heavens. Finally, he saw the Great Spirit. The Great Spirit was powerful and kind. He listened to Rainbow Crow's plea. The Great Spirit, in his infinite wisdom and kindness, gave Rainbow Crow a burning ember. This ember was no ordinary ember. It glowed with a mystical light, symbolizing hope and warmth. The Great Spirit looked at Rainbow Crow with deep compassion and said, "Take this back to your people." Rainbow Crow, understanding the gravity of the task, held the ember carefully in his beak. He knew that this ember was the key to saving his friends and family from the harsh, unforgiving cold that had enveloped their world. With determination and a sense of duty, Rainbow Crow began his journey back to Earth. The ember's heat was intense, but he held on, knowing the lives of many depended on him. As he flew through the sky, the journey was long and arduous. The ember's heat was relentless, and it began to burn him, turning his once vibrant feathers black. Despite the pain, Rainbow Crow pressed on, driven by his love for his people. The transformation was painful. But Rainbow Crow did not waver. His feathers, once a dazzling array of colors, were now charred and blackened. Yet, he continued, knowing that his sacrifice was necessary. When he finally returned, exhausted but triumphant, he gave the ember to the animals. They quickly started a fire, and the warmth began to spread, melting the snow and ice that had threatened their survival. The fire's warmth was a beacon of hope, saving them from the cold. The animals gathered around, feeling the life-giving heat, and they looked at Rainbow Crow with immense gratitude. Rainbow Crow had sacrificed his beauty to save his friends. His once colorful feathers were now black, but his heart was full, knowing he had done the right thing. He was no longer colorful, but he was a hero in the eyes of all the animals. They honored him for his bravery and selflessness, recognizing the great sacrifice he had made. From that day on, Rainbow Crow was known not for his vibrant colors, but for his courage and selflessness. His story was told for generations, a testament to the power of sacrifice and the true meaning of heroism.